Hi guys, welcome back to At Home with the Homers. Today we are going to be doing the full house tour of all of the Christmas decorations, plus a couple of extra things that I didn't include in the first video, which is the Christmas tree, stockings, and a couple of tweaks that I've done to some decorations which I think have absolutely transformed the overall look. So if you haven't already, get yourself a hot chocolate or eggnog or something super Christmassy, because we are very, very much in that vibe today. I'm going to apologise now because I have got a bit of sore throat, and you will hear throughout the video that it kind of comes and goes and gets better and worse as the video goes on, but do bear with me. I'm just glad I managed to get it in and done before I'm rendered absolutely speechless. Something that until now has never happened. For somebody who never stops talking, I'm very rarely without my voice, so I'll be damned if it gets me this time, but just in case, we've got it. Okay, so just as I've done it when I've done these videos before, I'm going to start outside because that just seems like it makes layout sense. So outside the front we've got my door arch, which I'm super happy with. It was my first time. I've not done one before. I'm happy with how it came out. There are things that I would do differently. I think that next time I would love to have like some silver ribbon or lights winding all the way around instead of just the icicles, because even though I think the icicles do look great and they do look beautiful at night, and it kind of adds to the archwayness of the arch. So yeah, but I think it needs to be fuller. It definitely needs more, but all in all, happy with it for a first go. This polar bear has literally been with us since we started doing Christmas. We just discovered it 5 years ago. No, but since we started decorating our house, really. So it's probably my oldest, certainly the oldest outside Christmas decoration that survived. And I try to think of reasons to get rid of it, and I just can't. I love him. So he's very happy there in his archway. Usually he's actually inside because he was the only outside decoration. So he's actually living his best life outside the house now. This guy, my mother-in-law made for me and David. I love him. She's so good at kind of just making craft. Like, his hat was a jumper once upon a time, so she made that. So he stands outside and he just kind of guards the outside of our house. There's the tree I got from TK Maxx. I knew I'd find a use for it. And actually some of the old ones I got from a few years ago, they did survive, so they are also accompanying my guard gnome. We got this mat from B&Q, I think. We've got another one inside as well. And on the front door we have this wreath. I think it probably looks as old as it is. So yeah, but that's one of those that I'm aiming to replace as I go. That'll be one for next year. So for the outside next year, new wreath and more things around the arch. Okay, let's go and have a look inside. Oh, okay, that's much better. That is much warmer now. So if we start with my window frame dealies, I mean, I say this all the time. This is literally one of my favorite things that I do decor wise. I love these little wreaths. I love the way they look, and it's such a quick, easy little trick to completely transform really a very small hallway. So you can see there, I think you can see I've got a little safety pin. So they used to just be, I can't remember what wreaths came with this originally. One of them did, and I literally just cut, because it was glued on, so I just cut through the glue and removed the wreath, and now I just clip that little bit of fabric back up around whichever wreath I change it out for. And like I say, it's super quick, super effective. Finding the right size wreaths is the trick. That's the only thing that ever trips me up, and it's taken me years to find this one. As I said, I literally stumbled across it in a garden centre. So I was like, give me 2 of those, give me 4 of them, just in case I lose one. So yeah, but otherwise, fantastic, easy little trick. So I've got my tiny little hallway display. It's a tiny hallway, so I've got to do what I can. But I've mentioned the sign here from the range. Super happy with that. I think it's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. These 2 pieces, I got this from a charity shop like a million years ago, but because I only ever light the candle at Christmas time, it's lasted me for ages. And it's one of those pieces where I can just always depend on it. It gives a bit of light, it does what it should do. This is another piece of my mother-in-law's, actually. So as well as making jumpers into gnomes, she makes jars into decoupaged pieces of artwork. She gave me that a few years ago and it just suited all of my decor needs perfectly. And again, you can kind of put it anywhere and it just always looks good. So that one is apparently really easy to make. I can't decoupage, I'm not going to pretend I can. She's a very, very creative and clever woman. But yeah, if you can do it, super easy. On the mirror, I've literally this year only put this little oil burner, and the reason for that is I always have something that gives off some kind of a scent in the hallway, so that when people first walk in, that's the first thing that they kind of experience of the house. I hate the idea that people come in and go, oh gross, this house smells weird. And they might think that actually if they don't like the scent I've got going, but I always try and make sure I've got something near the door so that at least it smells fresh. And it smells deliberate. If they don't like it, then that's their problem, but at least it doesn't smell like kind of musty house smell. So that's why that's there, and it is white and simple, but it is doing its job. I am so short, this is nearly an impossible shot, but I don't know if you can see just above my head here, I have got some mistletoe, which I think now is considered to be quite old-fashioned, but from the minute I was old enough to understand any kind of concept of romance, I loved the idea of mistletoe. I loved the idea of, you know, having something, you know, give someone a kiss under the mistletoe. So yeah, as soon as I had a man who was willing to kiss me and wasn't my dad, I kind of insisted on having mistletoe in the house. And something that's been really cute is that when I explained to Levi what it was about, he now, every time he walks, so this is the doorway to the front room, whenever he walks in or out of it, we'll kind of then turn back around and go, oh, we forgot our kiss. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so adorable. Kind of time consuming, but super adorable. So yeah, loving my mistletoe, wouldn't be without it. And do you know what? It also always makes me think, I don't know if anyone remembers this film, I'm starting to really realise how old I'm getting. The Batman film with, oh my God, what was her name? Oh, what was her name? I think it was back when Tim Burton was doing the Batman films. I mean, so, you know, if you're thinking of Robert Pattinson, you could probably switch off now. It might have been, oh, for God's sake.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Thank you. All right, so Batman and Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman. I can't remember who played Batman, doesn't matter. And there's that bit where they are dancing and they'd said while they were Catwoman and Batman about mistletoe, like, oh, mistletoe can be deadly if you eat it. And she's like, the kiss can be even deadlier if you mean it. And then they say it to each other again out of costume. And that's when they realise that they're Batman and Catwoman. That always kind of stayed with me as well. So don't eat it. Super romantic. Don't eat it. It's bad for you. So in the interest of keeping chronologically sensible, I'm going to move through the hallway into Levi's room now. And I mean, considering it's a child's room, it has weathered the Christmas excitement storm pretty well. I talked a lot about this bedding. Yeah, I mean, I love it. It looks like this is the only room that I would say is almost, I don't want to say gaudy, but it's in that vein. It's every colour, it's bright, you know, but it's a kid's bedroom. And as I said before, I wanted it to be like a homage to, you know, my Christmases growing up in like the 90s and the noughties, you know, where, you know, they had the multicoloured twinkle lights, which I'm starting to understand is actually coming back in fashion. I've seen a lot of people having those again, and even the foil ceiling decorations. And yeah, I'm really tempted. We've got a lot of things on Levi's ceiling, as you can see, but I'm quite tempted to maybe think about next year, if he's got a lot of this stuff down, putting the foil decorations up as well. Something I didn't really talk about, see, I've got a very creative, crafty family. This, my sister-in-law made, So this is one of Bev's creations. She made that for Levi because it just, well, she was making loads of them and selling them, but I was just like, oh my God, I have to have one. And bless her heart, she worked really hard to make sure it complemented the colour scheme really well. And it does, and it's still going after however many years. So I'm absolutely, you know, in love with that piece. I wish I could recommend, but like my family members don't make this stuff very much anymore. So, but that's why they're very precious. That's why I have to keep them. And you can see on the windows here, I bought these chalk pens, which are designed to go on glass. And I used them to decorate the window in my office. And then I brought them home. And then me and Levi have just kind of gone a bit crazy doing Christmas decorations on his windows. And to be fair, I mean, I don't mind, it all washes off. It's gone, some of it's gone a little bit droopy at the bottom, so you can see where it's getting a bit smudged. But we've had loads of fun with that, and he will just kind of get the pens out at any random time and add to it. And there you can see when Sarah's slept over, she's added her bits too. So I would actually really recommend this. Like, it's a lovely Christmas activity. They've asked if we can do it in the front room. I said no. But it's okay for a kid's room. But it's really great because Levi's kind of really enjoyed expressing his understanding of Christmas. So these little zigzags here are actually birds flying south, because he's watched from his window the birds flying in that direction to go south. So he's kind of drawn them on, so they're still there. So, and that was actually a massive surprise to me. I was like, oh my God, that's so lovely. And you know, here we've got penguins in their igloo kind of wintry scene with a polar bear. So yeah, we had so many fantastic conversations about winter and Christmas while we were doing this. So it's a lovely activity to do, and again, super easy and really quick cleanup really. That's just going to be a quick spritz and then it'll be gone. I'm still so in love with this part just on top of his toy boxes, because where usually I do strive for it to have a bit of order and look a little bit neat, with this I haven't. Like, it's just Christmas, and you know, he's just loving it. Like, he'll get the books down, he'll get the toys down, and you know, it what can you say, it's a kid's bedroom, it's a kid's display, and yeah, I'm very, very happy with that. This is one of my absolute favourite Christmas books of all time, because it is just stunning. Pick a Pine Tree. I think I mentioned before, it's the same people who did Pick a Pumpkin, which we read at Halloween. Yeah, just really lovely artwork if you're looking for a Christmas book. And also going on an elf chase as well. That's like an Open the Flap book where they find gifts and things. So for younger kids in particular, that is a fantastic book to read. And up here, I have lit the lights. You can't see it very well, but because it is daytime. But the lights are lit and they look lovely, and at night time they look absolutely stunning. So I mentioned in the decorating video that I didn't end up having any success really buying new things for the kitchen or the bathroom, and so they've kind of got a lot of the same stuff as they've had every year. But I am determined next year, that's the other one on my list. I'm kind of looking through all of this and deciding what I want to improve, or what I'm going to try and claw for in the January sales. The bathroom items is definitely one of them. I think I want Christmas towels. So I actually bought liquid soap in one of those plastic refill bag things, so I could fill up a soap dispenser. Soap dispenser. So we've just got our silver reindeer, my little white and silver sparkly Christmas tree, and my little Believe plaque just down in the corner, just so the bathroom knows it's Christmas as well. I don't want Band-Aid to have to do something for my bathroom. Does it? No, it's Christmas. It does. It's just not super festive about it. And moving on, since, you know, speaking of the kitchen, I actually, to be fair, was happier with how the kitchen came out. Look at that. I suppose has done that. When we leave him on his own out of protest, he stays in the kitchen with all of his food, all of his toys, and a very comfy bed. But out of protest, he has been jumping up and eating our calendar so that we don't know what we've planned for the month. And that is our punishment for leaving him alone. So we've had to literally move it right up as high as we can to try and stop him from doing it. That's not a Christmas decoration. That's a result of a life choice. This is a Christmas decoration. Bananas, put bananas there. I know, put bananas there. Okay, so I was actually much happier with how this ended up coming out than I thought I would be. I was really like, yay, I've got this tray. And then I was like, I've got nothing to put on it. I don't know what to do with it. So I just kind of filled it with some things. And yeah, I think actually, especially if you don't look too closely, look, come step away a bit. Better, right? Okay. Because you've got a lot of browns and orangey colours, which is, you know, in keeping with that foresty theme. I can see some Christmas tree-esque shapes. I can see some prickly green splattered in there. So it looks Christmassy, especially if you don't look at it too hard, which I'm really happy about. Yeah, again, that's another thing on the list. Like, so bathroom, kitchen, outdoor arch. That's the big three for next year that I'm really going to sort of try and work on improving. But for now, it's all right. It came out okay. This guy over on the windowsill, don't look at the fridge, it's terrible. This guy over on the windowsill was on the dining table, but he got moved because I hated the dining table, but we'll talk about that in a minute. And yeah, again, it looks good. It's just, it doesn't look good because it doesn't look great because the kitchen didn't get as much love as I wanted it to, but it's working out for now. And then I got my Merry and Bright sign. That was another charity shop buy that I will always be happy with. It's never let me down. It lights up beautifully. It sits happily in the kitchen. Yeah, I don't know. I'm always, yeah. This was, I think I've got a little bit of nostalgic love for this because this was another one of my very first decorations that I bought for my own house. So yeah, love this guy. He does his job well. And then up here is where I've hidden, well, I haven't hidden actually, David, God bless his heart, when I was kind of just chucking lights up outside and not really giving any thought to how I would, you know, light them. I literally just had wires coming through the window and then like hanging down, and David was like, you can't have electrical wires hanging over the oven. And I was like, I can have what I want, it's Christmas. But bless his heart, so he's gathered them all up and put them in this jar to kind of just keep it neat and up out of the way. Installed a hook to keep the wire up. So like, bless him, he does put up with me. And then we've got the plugs up here. And all of this is perfectly masked by this gold tree. It's all just become invisible. Just blends into the tree. Again, that's something I'm going to be working on next year. In hindsight, I think a garland, like a big garland to go across the window. Oh, look, now I'm like, why do I think I'm just going to put a garland up there? I might do that. I might do that later. Garland would cover all that stuff. Would actually cover all that stuff really nicely. So yeah, I think maybe like if not later on, next year, a garland. Okay, so now I can't keep saying my favourite room. I can't keep saying my favourite room or my second room because I literally have 4 rooms in my house that aren't bathrooms. So, you know, but I mean, this is my bedroom and I spend a lot of time in here. So, you know, I love it. And I'm very happy with how it's come out, actually. It's going to be my catchphrase. That should just be the title of the channel. I'm happy with how this came out featuring Kelly. But yeah, I think the cozy cabin theme really came through. That wreath, absolute godsend. I'm delighted that I bought that wreath. It was one of the more expensive things I ended up buying from the range, but I think it just set everything off perfectly. What you can see here pretty much is the extent of the whole room. The bed isn't just the central focal point, it's almost the floor. So it takes up a lot of the floor space. So, you know, it does look really lovely. It tied everything in together. I've got my gingham cushions, which were an Amazon buy. This cushion, I got from TK Maxx. I'm alright with it. And again, just a really simple, easy little thing that tied everything in together. In my tray, I mentioned briefly in the decorating video about the books that I've been finding from Tesco's. So this is Jenny Colgan's Christmas at a Little Beach Street Bakery. And I picked this up because obviously it's Christmassy. It fit my colour theme perfectly. I live on the coast. So, you know, it was basically written for me. And I really, really, really like bakeries. I like them a bunch. I've not really come across a bakery that I didn't get on well with. Good people, you know, good people in bakeries. Except Greg's. I actually don't like Greg's at all. Yeah, there's nothing good for me in Greg's, but other bakeries. So I kind of thought, oh, this has so much about it that is so me that I can't wait to have this in my room. I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to read it. I don't have time for reading. But the title and the cover, which is what I've judged it by, has suited me down to the ground. And then underneath it, I've put this it's one of those old-fashioned green books. Specifically green, but you know the ones where it's got kind of that really textured cover. This is called An Excess of Love by Kathy Cash Spellman. And I feel like just because it is an older book and it's called An Excess of Love, it sounds like the kind of book that I would really enjoy. Again, I'll read it one day, actually, to be fair. I can't really want to read this one. I used to read loads. I used to love reading. I used to be like an avid reader. I mean, it was like supernatural romance. I'm of the Twilight generation, but I read. I'm literate. But yeah, but mostly I picked this one because of the colour. Because when I put these two together, it makes a fabulous colour combination with the block green underneath it. So that's mostly why I chose this one. And yeah, as I said, I've got my little sprigs of festive foliage. They were from Amazon. They came in like a pack of like, no, wait, no, I'm lying to you. These aren't from Amazon. I remember picking these up from a shop and being like, I'm gonna take, there's like £2 each. So I was like, oh, I can get 5 or 6 of them. Where were they from? I'm gonna say, no, I don't remember. They were a high street shop find. It could have been a garden centre. But yes, they were a couple of pounds. I just think little things like this are so brilliant, like, because they are usually quite inexpensive. You can buy a lot of them in one go. I mean, these are 2 sprigs and they are just fantastic for filler. Like I'm always saying, quite often when you've done a room or you've done a little display and you might just need a little something to fill it out, and you know, it's just really handy having little things like this to sort of dot around. And yeah, then my little house tea light holder. I see so many of these house displays. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen these light up houses, especially around this time. And not just the really obvious festive ones that you get where people do like whole towns, but just like these kind of plain white ones. I see these dotted around all over the place decor wise. I've not really invested in it, not for any reason. I think, I mean, I like it just fine. I like houses. Who doesn't like a house? It's nice to have somewhere to live. But yeah, I don't know why. I think because my house is quite small, I don't have a lot of spaces that I would be able to put like a whole little town. But this one little house is kind of a nod to that kind of genre of decor. Are there genres of decor? I think I might have just created one. I'm gonna have it. Yeah. So to the White House genre of decor, it's just a little nod that I'm aware of you. I'm in support of you. I'm just not buying you in excess. Yeah, so yeah, I think the bedroom's just come out really lovely and cozy, and it's been, yeah, a really lovely room to be in. I'm gonna end on that note. So I used my little wooden candle holders on my bedside table, and then there's one just in front of the TV as well. And I do think they're beautiful. I think if I could go back, I would probably get more things like this. Like I've seen wooden tea light holders that are smaller, just little kind of frames for them. So, and I haven't got any up until now, but I think I will do because I've been really happy with that. On the windowsill, I've got my greenery, a little bit of foliage, which is kind of, and then this thing, which is now taking centre place on my windowsill, is my calendar, which looks really excessive, but my birthday is Christmas Day. Hooray. And, you know, God bless David. We don't get time to do a lot, if anything, for my birthday, which is fine. That's my choice. I'm perfectly happy with that. Like, I really don't mind. But so this is actually my birthday present. He always gets me a really lovely birthday present, birthday calendar, and it's usually something to do with makeup or, you know, that kind of a thing. But whenever I open this up, it's got two sides and it's just beautiful. And I've already gotten some really awesome, very expensive products that I wouldn't usually be buying for myself. So yeah, look fantastic, that one. That is a fantastic, well, it doesn't just look fantastic, it is fantastic. It's a great calendar. If you were thinking, if you're watching this you know, in 2024 onwards and are thinking, oh, what calendar could I get? I can tell you that Look Fantastic 2023 had a really good calendar. So we're now going to go into the room which has changed the most since the decorating video. I'm much happier. I'm much happier with it. If you watched the decorating video, you'll know I had a couple of things that I really struggled with, and I also didn't show putting up the Christmas tree just because that is something that David, Levi and we do together, and I didn't want it to be a fussing thing where I was worried about what I was wearing or things. Not that I worry, I woke up like this. But yeah, so I just wanted it to just be easy and just be something for us. But I have got some clips of the star going up, which I will put in here at some point. But yes, so the Christmas tree is up, the stockings are up, and thank God I fixed the table. So you'll remember, if you, like I said, if you watched the video, if you didn't, you should probably check it out. I've referred to it rather a lot in this video. But I really was struggling with the dining table last time. I had that candle holder thing and we were not happy. We were not happy. And it just looked really lackluster. And I struggled. I was like, I don't know what to do. I was really happy with my placemats. They're in a star shape. That's really Christmassy. That should be enough to kind of carry the table on its own, but it wasn't. Nope, it wasn't. So I did a little bit of soul searching, or as the kids call it, YouTubing. And I learned a little bit. I learned a couple of things. And there's a girl who I watch, and I will link her in my description box. So she's all about like home decor, but not like this. She's kind of, what do they call it? Interior design. That's it. So she's all about interior design. So I get a lot of kind of ideas from her just on like baseline things that will work, and like that rule of 3 thing, I think, was something I picked up from her. And she says, when you're doing garlands, don't just do one garland. Some of you are out here going, how did you only just know this? I'm learning, okay? I'm learning as I go. She says, don't just do one. You need to layer it, because otherwise it does look a bit limp and a bit sad. And more than that, don't just layer it with the same stuff. Layer it with different foliage. And I was like, I have different foliage, because for my wedding, we had ivy, fake ivy, going all across the ceiling. We did it all ourselves. Well, David did it all, strung it all up on the thing, but we kept it. Why? I don't know, because I'm a hoarder and a nutcase, but I kept it. So I was like, I have foliage I can layer with. So you can see what I've done is I went back over the foliage that I had, that kind of pine stuff, and I've just threaded through this fake ivy. And then I took away the candle holder. I wasn't happy with that. And I just got some white candles. I ran in a panic to my cupboard of stuff under the sink. And I just got like a bunch of different candle holders, and these ones that kind of live in the front room, the big ones anyway. And I just kind of threaded them through, and I just tried to make it look a little bit like if Mr. Tumnus from Narnia randomly threw a very small, intimate Christmas gathering in the middle of the forest where that cupboard leads to, what would he do? And that's kind of what I've gone for. He's found some candles and he's sort of threaded them through, but I am so happy with the effect that it had. I just think it looks beautiful. I think next year there's some more things I would do with that. I would get a few more bigger candles to thread through, but otherwise actually for something that I just kind of ended up throwing together, well, not throwing it together, I thought about it, but you know what I mean. I was very happy. And then I think I mentioned before, these chair covers and the bows are also from our wedding. We kept those because you just never know. And yeah, again, super glad I did. I'm going to be doing a similar thing without the bows to the dining table at the hall as well. So yeah, so much happier with that. Yeah, I think I've really learned something there, and that's kind of going to stay with me. And I've done the same thing here with my garland on the mantelpiece, and oh my god, that is just so much better. That is so much more beautiful. It looks thicker, it looks full of life, and having the different plants has given it so much more texture as well. So I 100%, if you're kind of struggling a bit with your decor, if your garlands or whatever, you think it looks a bit flimsy, it was such a simple fix. I mean, it's simple if you have a box full of ivy in your loft. But again, the ivy wasn't super expensive, but yeah, just something that I'm really glad I kept that. And don't throw anything away. Become a hoarder. Keep everything. Embrace the weird stares, because you will be the one laughing when you are putting crap everywhere at Christmas and it looks amazing. So there. But yeah, so that is how the fireplaces come out. I'm very pleased with that effect. Looks gorgeous. And these are our stockings. I get a lot of compliments on the stockings actually, and they were just white ones from Tesco's. They look like the stockings that I'm wearing today, funny enough. But yeah, they're actually from Tesco's, the stockings themselves. Now, I bought these last year, obviously before we had Bones, and I have searched everywhere to get a matching one for Bones, but I couldn't. So I thought I'll get him like his own special kind of red one. And yeah, I'm gonna have a rethink about it next year. These labels, again, I will link this guy down below. So that's Grandad Goose, me, Dad, Levi, and then I contacted the same guy again this year, bless him, and I said, I got another weird one for you. Last year was Goose, this year is Bones. And yeah, he added this really gorgeous little ho 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 tag onto it as well, which I just thought was so cute. But yeah, he's brilliant. A guy named Aaron makes these, and yeah, I think they just make the stockings look so gorgeous and so classy. So I was absolutely delighted. And there's all different variations as well, like ribbon colors and things like that. So I said I'll link that in the description down below, so if you guys want to have a look at something like that, then you've got it. And as you can see, I've also done the same thing with my windowsill, not because I necessarily thought the windowsill needed it, because the windowsill is a smaller space, it's easier to fill, but it kind of kept it cohesive. So once I'd done it to the table, that was why I ended up adding it to the garland and to this windowsill. And yeah, just so much happier, so much happier. You know, I think, can't recommend that little hack highly enough. And in case we were interested in the front room books, I've got The Christmas Escape by Sarah Morgan. Again, it just, I had a lot of white in it and those kind of blues and silvers. So I thought that was really, really beautiful. And then I've also got, because, you know, we like our literary classics, A Christmas Carol. And this was a gift. This was one of David's fancy gift books that he gets sometimes, because he reads like grown-up books, like textbooks. Don't remember any pictures or any vampires or werewolves. I mean, but yeah, so yeah, this is, I mean, obviously it's beautiful anyway, and it's, you know, we put it in the front room and then people think that we're really fancy, sit around reading A Christmas Carol of an evening. We don't. But yeah, so, and then I've got my red. I've said before, I try not to put too much red in this room, but a little bit's okay. And I love the smell of this one. It's a Yankee Candle Gingered Apples. It's actually from a few years ago, but again, because I only light it at Christmas, I keep it. I'm not going to throw it. I'm not going to throw it away. Sorry about it. You know, until it's finished, because it's a waste. If you're like me and you do all the seasonal stuff, you know, you have candles and coloured things for all different seasons. Like, yeah, and I can't afford to throw away a Yankee Candle when I've only lit it like 5 times. So yeah, that baby's here now. It will probably be here next year. So get familiar with it. And now I would like to very proudly present our Christmas tree. We bought this tree from B&Q maybe 2 years ago. And it was a bit of a splurge because, again, we'd had cheaper ones, but we saved up, and, you know, this is one of the ones that I've replaced, and with the idea that we can keep it for a very, very long time. In keeping with the winter forest theme, I try to only use like kind of white or something light colour. So you see we've got some blue ones there, but I'll talk about that in a minute. And yeah, so just kind of very foresty things in our decor, and I love it. I'm super proud of it. That star, TK Maxx, but I love it because it's like a snowflake, which I thought was really, really pretty. Yeah, so on here we've got a combination of kind of, you know, your pack of 50 different size white and silver baubles, but then I'm fleshing out as I go with others. So for example, these ones, how cute is that? That comes in a pack of 4 from Amazon. But they do go out of stock really quickly. One year I bought 2 boxes because you only get 4. And I'd left the boxes, I'd brought them all downstairs from the loft, and I'd left them in the hallway ready for me to move into the front room. And this is why I now move everything straight into the front room, because I walked in and David was stomping on the boxes, and I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, this is all rubbish, isn't it? I'm flattening it down to put in the recycling. And I was like, no. And yeah, he just smashed my baubles to pieces, but totally without meaning to, obviously. But yeah, so I think only 2 of them actually were smashed. We managed to, so I had 6. But yeah, so that's a 2. So we've got like a little squirrel there. There's a little robin in that one. So I love those. I've got little pine cones again. They're just from one of those packs of many. We've got dotted around, you'll see like this one is actually a planet. For Levi's birthday, since he's been born, because he's a December baby, we have started getting him a planet because he loved from, you know, such a young age. He was obsessed with space. So we started getting him glass planet baubles. We actually ordered them from America. I'll link it below actually, because it's beautiful, this stuff they do. It does, you need months. You know, you need to order it months in advance because it needs to be made and then delivered. If you live in the States, probably significantly less time. But yeah, they're just so beautiful. And every year he gets one of these for his birthday, with the idea that when he gets older, he's got his own set of planet baubles that he can take with him wherever he goes and put on his own Christmas tree. So, so this one down here is Saturn with the rings. Got that one recently. They're just so beautiful, and I don't mind that some of the colours don't quite fit. I've got a snowman. That's from Grandad Goose, so that's on there every year. And yeah, I'm really, really proud of it. I'm really happy with how it came out. I think it does look really beautiful, especially in the evening when it's all lit up with that kind of warm white glow. It does just look really, really beautiful. So these presents down here, again, they were TK Maxx buy, and I couldn't believe it when I found them. They don't come in a set of 3. I had to buy the 3 of them separately. But yeah, they were just so, I couldn't believe how well they fit the theme. I thought they were just fantastic. We did have some light up ones a few years ago, but I was like, nope, I don't want them. I've traded them in, and then I've just dotted around these little trees as well, again, to feed into that, you know, magic forest theme. I'm still not 100% sold on it, but I'm just going to keep, my plan is to keep building and keep going with it so that it kind of comes together. We also have a train track that goes around the tree. You can see it there, which looks really, really cute. And this piece of it there, we ordered that. So again, when Levi was very young, so he's got that, got his own monogrammed train rail. But we always put that under the tree at Christmas. it. That is the Homer Christmas decoration tour. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, it would be wonderful if you would like, and super amazing if you would think about subscribing to join the community here. I'm going to have a few more Christmas videos coming up very soon. I'll see you then. Take care.
How'd that go?
Great.